What is going on, guys? We are back on the Studebaker today, and it is a beautiful sunny day out here, and the goal today is to get this thing to run and idle. I want to hear this thing make some noise and sit there and idle, and maybe, just maybe, we can see if it goes in gear. Well, we got some work to do, so let's get to it. All right, first thing is first, we're going to change these battery cables. See, this is a 12-volt cable. This actually looks like it is a 6-volt cable. This is 0 gauge. I've just got some brand new 0 gauge cable that we can make up and make that all work properly, get rid of all these old connectors and everything. We'll do that first. We're also going to go ahead and dump the oil in this, even though it doesn't look terrible. I want to get it out in case there's any water in the engine, something I haven't checked yet. We kind of jumped the gun on that. Filter, we'll pop this filter out and see just what it looks like. I don't know if I'll be able to get one in town today, but the old filter will be okay, because honestly, or actually, this was an option on the car. This motor came with an oil filter or without an oil filter, so it'll be okay. And we'll see about cranking on this thing some more. We might try to change the coil if I could find one in town today. We're also going to take that carburetor off before we start cranking on it and clean it up, turn this filter or this fuel line around and just bottle feed it with some fuel. Maybe we'll even see if the fuel pump pumps. If that pumps, that'd be great. And I think some fuel to this thing, and she's gonna run, because the last couple of videos ago when we were cranking on this thing, right there at the end, excuse me, I got the hiccups, right there at the end, she wanted to crank, she wanted to run. She's a runner, I know she is. So let's get to it. All right, let's see if we can break this strap off, which it seems to be pretty loose, and get this old cable off of here. We'll clean up all these ends, get it all clean, so we have great grounds. We'll probably have to replace the ground on the actual engine block as well. All right, so we got that off. You can actually see here where it bolts to the top of the head. We have a ground down here, and she's looking too hot. She's green, she's there. So we might not try to change that right away. Put these cables on there and see what it does. That's definitely gonna have to be changed in the future. And I don't really care for where they got it going anyhow. It could stand to go somewhere else as well. That's one cable down. That was the easy one. And now we gotta get up under here. You guys can see that, the bottom of the solenoid, and get that off. So let's get to that. All right, we got our old cables off. Now it's time to make some new, fresh cable, so this thing can turn over nice and easy. So I'm gonna put you guys down here, and you guys can watch me make some cable. All right, we came in the shop, and I heated up my ends, got them real hot, filled them with solder, and shoved them in there. So we got 2 brand new battery cables. Let's go throw them on. All right, now that we got our cables fixed up, we'll go ahead and clean up where they actually go on with a little bit of wire brush action. Let's help it get a little more continuity there. Alright, so down here we'll do the same on the solenoid down here. Alright, let's go ahead and put our cables on. And we'll make this one our positive. Go ahead and clean up this washer a little bit. Make this one our positive. We'll run that how they had it. I'm gonna go like this. Wire mount. Well, wait, hold on. We're just gonna go just like this. It ain't gonna hurt it where it's at right now. It is a little on the long side, so we can go. Right. I made them on the long side so I can kind of round them wherever I wanted them to. Looks like I made them a little too long, but that's okay. Let's go through here. Oh yeah, it's like it was meant to be. Gotta go right there. Bunch up the rest right there. Let's go find that other washer we had. If there was another washer, I don't know if there was. I don't think there was. There might have been. I don't know. Wherever it's gone, it's gone. We don't need one. Alright. All this back together here. Looks like we're going to need a 7/16 wrench for that. No. Half inch. No? Oh, of course, because everything's in metric, but this half inch will work. At least the open end will. Like, why they gotta make stuff metric? Make it American. I don't like metric. Tighten these too tight because we're gonna have to take them off when we leave the car. But let me hit the starter button, which works in the car now. It's on the floor. See what it sounds like. Might spin slow. We might be disappointed. We'll see. But you just fell and disappeared. Where did you go? Way down in here. The Studebaker ate my phone. I have found a gimbal that I can use, but I had to charge it, so we're not using it right now. Button right here. Let's see. Well, that's disappointing. What the heck? Well, it was working. Now we have no power. What the heck? Did we leave a wire off? We got... That's tight. This is tight. We got... What the heck? Who knows, maybe the button's not working again. Or, you know, it could be that I have the key off. That could be the reason. Let's see now. No. Well, ain't that disappointing? Well, I guess let me get my power probe out and I'll leave the wire off. I got a wire hanging here. Don't know what that was going to. Sorry, so you can't see. Let me go get my power probe and we'll see. All right, after scratching my head for a damn 30 minutes, I think this end was just loose. I put the old cable on there and everything started working. And I put this on there and I think it's gonna work now. So let's hit the starter button once again and see what happens. All right, she turns over a little faster. I mean, that's honestly as fast as a 6-volt system is going to turn. We might still jump it with the 12-volt. I know you guys don't like seeing me do that, but get this old girl spinning up there and see if she'll, you know, ignite. We could just dump a little fuel down there just to see if it'll ignite with the 12-volt. Why don't we do that just to see? All right, I think I got you guys in a good spot right there. We're gonna just dump a little fuel down the car just to see if it'll pop off with the 12 volts. That's a good little bit of fuel right there. And I think we'll see if that cranks her over. I'm not sure. Turn our key on here. Hit our starter button and see what happens. Not a whole lot of anything. Alright, let's go grab our handy dandy jump box and just see. And just see if that helps her out. Alright, I got our junk box here. We're gonna give her some air, open up this choke. And just see. I mean, it can't hurt. It really can't. It ain't gonna hurt us. You try. We got 12 volts up on this here system. Let me turn the key on. Let's make some sparks and who knows, maybe it'll work. And that's what I'm talking about right there. A little jump never hurt nothing. That thing is going to run with some fuel. So now, since we know that's going to work, let's go ahead, drain the oil, get this carb cleaned up, and pump some fuel to it. Now we got the good old carburetor off. We're just going to put it in my solvent washer, get all that dirt and stuff out of it before we start putting some fuel to it. It ain't gonna hurt this thing. You can see there, looks like throttle blades are a little sticky. We'll get this thing cleaned up. Once we find out what exact model it is, I'll try to order a rebuild kit for it. But let's pump some fuel to it once we get it cleaned up and see what happens. So something kind of interesting and kind of scary at the same time is I had to take the carburetor apart because I saw the butterfly was stuck, and if you look in there, the butterfly wasn't attached no more because the bolts are broken off. And I didn't try to force this thing or anything, so I'm thinking, I don't know when that happened. I'm hoping to find some head of the bolts in the parts washer where we were cleaning it and working it back and forth, but I don't see anything. So we're gonna go take a look in the intake. This carburetor is screwed. I don't think there's going to be any saving that. I do have a brand new 2-barrel carter that I can see if I could adapt it. That would be the best thing for it. It's a brand new carb, and that thing would help a lot, but this is going to be a no-go. So that puts kind of a halt on things because I don't see any bolts down in here. Now, I do feel a ton of big chunks of rust, and I hate to start the motor with all that rust in there. I do have that other intake that's all clean, and I think that's what we're going to have to end up doing. I think we're going to have to rip this intake off and put the other one on. So I'm going to soak down these bolts. I hate to do that, but I don't want to run this motor. I really don't, and hurt it, because I think it's going to be a good runner. And I don't want to sacrifice blowing it up because it has, I mean, look at this. That's one big chunk of rust. I don't want that to all go through the engine, because this intake is pretty bad. So I'm gonna PB blaster this up and get it off, I guess. So I came back from lunch. We sprayed all these bolts down with PB blaster, and I'm gonna have to take a sawzall and probably just cut the exhaust off. I might try to unbolt it, but my gut feeling is to pull this off, make sure it's clean so we don't screw up anything in the motor. And as far as the carb, I think I'm just going to order a 1-barrel to 2-barrel adapter, because I had that brand new carb, and just try to start with there and get a better start with that. Maybe we get this thing to bust off. I really want to hear it run, but I don't want to rush through it. And like I said, risk. rusty washer is holding this exhaust on. It's ridiculous. This was the problem. This is why the car probably has kind of an exhaust manifold in it. Oh yeah. I'll take that. All right, we got the intake off. You can see here that it is pretty rusty and pretty nasty. So it only has three intake ports, and this middle one is bad. So I'm glad we took it off. You can see here, now that we got this off, there's actually a gasket here. It's metal, and we might just try to reuse it. Throw that under intake on there and see what happens. We can see the side plates, inspection covers for the lifters. So we got gas in some of these. You can feel the valve. They don't feel too rusty. Let's see if I can turn my flash on, you guys can see. Oh yeah. As you look in here, well, that's the exhaust. Here's the intake. The intake looks pretty clean. No bolts to be found, fortunately. Yeah, not too bad. So we cleaned it all out, cleaned all the ports, wiped them out with a rag. Didn't find those two bolts. They could have just rotted away. But I guess that is going to conclude this little video. Sorry it wasn't too exciting on this portion. All we did was make some cables and made a little bit of noise and then shut her off. But now I got to order an intake gasket, which will take a couple days to get here, and I'm gonna have to order that 1 barrel to 2 barrel adapter so we can go ahead and adapt a good carb on it. And we need a better, or at least a new 6-volt coil, because this thing has spark but it's very weak. So maybe if I could find a tune-up kit for it, points, cap, rotor, condenser, and a coil, and it's a better plug wires. But I think I have some of those laying around. It's starting to get expensive now. We're already into this about $300 and some with the battery, the cables, and what else did we buy? Batteries, cables. I think that's it. I bought something else, tires, and those are holding up great. So until next time, when we're working and getting this thing to run and actually run for a while. So stay tuned.